fantastic dreams come true.
Hi, I am sitting here with Jennifer Blades, our Director of Operations here at Live Arts Maryland, but this time I'm talking about a different hat that she's going to wear on February 3rd at 7:30 and February 4th at 3 p.m. She is presenting a new production of a piece that she is calling A Winter's Journey, which is a weaving together of something old, Schubert's Die Winterreise, and something new, Maury Yeston's December Songs. Jennifer, welcome. Um, Tell us a little bit about this production that you're staging.
It is a multimedia reimagining of the two pieces, as you said. We've taken them and we have two singers. Jason Buckwalter is the baritone, I'm the mezzo. And we've taken them and I have put them together in a new order and made a story out of them. So the songs are complementary and they follow a path, and it tells the story of a couple who are mourning the loss of their love. And the story is such that we don't know which person in the story is actually alive, because no matter how you slice it, in our story somebody is deceased. In the original, neither one of them is mourning for a deceased person. They're both mourning for someone that has left them. But in our story, we have it that someone is deceased. And we also have a dancer, Nicole Kelsch, of the Ballet Theater of Maryland, who serves to interpret some of the music, and she acts as a go-between and acts out some of the other characters that are in the songs. And of course, the fantastic Andrew Stewart is at the piano.
So, and what I love about this is, one of the things that's of course, the Schubert Die Winterreise is just this. I mean, I remember, studying that cycle. But Maury Yeston's December songs are not as well known. And Maury Yeston, Maury Yeston has first of all, he's just a super smart, I mean, incredibly intelligent individual, just to start with. And he's also an incredibly smart musician and composer. He is responsible for a version of Phantom of the Opera, which, although not as well known and not as lucrative as the Andrew Lloyd Webber version, there are a lot of people who would certainly say that is an amazing version. That is the version. He also reworked and turned Grand Hotel into a successful show after it was really struggling. And then we have December songs where he took Schubert and used that as the sort of the and I remember talking about this years ago with a colleague who was doing it, and we sort of decided that it wasn't so much an homage to Schubert, but it was an answer to. Um, and so which is the piece that you came to dig into deeply first of these two?
Oh, that's interesting. So, I mean, I've always known Winterreise because I'm a classical
Because you know it, right?
singer, right? But I didn't really study it because it's not something that I'm necessarily going to sing. And I somehow stumbled upon December Songs. I had never heard of it, and I somehow stumbled upon it somewhere, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I have to sing that someday." And so I've, been looking at it and studying it and learning about it, um, and it was presented to me as a cabaret um, version of, a companion to Die Winterreise. And I was like, oh, that's so
Oh,
interesting.
interesting. Okay.
And so when I got the score, I was like, there is no way this is a cabaret version of anything, because it's just so expansive and it's very classically oriented. And when I was in my research, I found that Andrea Marcovici is who it was written for. And I recently found the Andrea Marcovici recording, and it's so vastly different than the score that you get today. It's very cabaret-like. The original recording, the way it was
Mhm.
written, it's very different. Much lower in, the keys are much lower. And so I told Andrew about this in rehearsal. I said, you have to go find it. It's so different than what we are doing. And but December Songs is what I came to first. And
Right.
so when we decided to do this, I sheepishly said to Jason, I said, we have to do the Schubert in English.
This type of production really lends itself to that. Do you know, this is sort of, this is the kind of question I hate when I do an interview, somebody asks me. So I'm going to do it to you.
Okay.
But do you know Harlan's recording of these songs? Harlan Blackwell's?
No, I don't know that.
It's really interesting. And the first time that I was working on um, a project that involved these songs, um, I actually talked with Maury about it, and he was in the middle of the new version that he was doing with Laura Osnes.
I've heard.
Um, and he that was in the works. It had not been cooked yet.
Okay.
But what was interesting is sort of getting a very general. We didn't discuss anything specific, but just sort of his feelings about this piece. And you can tell this is a piece that Maury, as a composer and musician, is very invested in.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
There's no doubt about it. There's so much there. And now, of course, there's the orchestral recording as well.
it's interesting. This is definitely a piece that Maury has sort of continued to live through. So this is, I love this idea. You've got a wonderful cast. You have Nicole Kelsch, as you just said,
Mhm.
from Ballet Theater of Maryland. You have Andrew Stewart
Yeah.
playing the piano. Jason Buckwalter
Mhm.
is singing the Schubert
Right.
selections.
Mhm.
And this is going to be fun. So this is at the Live Arts Studio on February 3rd at 7:30 and February 4th at 3 p.m. And people can get tickets at liveartsmd.org. Go get them.
Yes.
See you there.
Come true. My romance doesn't need a thing but you.